Happy time zone, fellow travelers. Welcome back to Fast Travel, where this week we are taking in the sights, sounds, and of course speedruns of the Netherlands. We just had recount takers from A to BSG in A2 Racer, and don't worry if you missed it, you'll be able to watch the replay of that run and of course all other Hotfix shows over on the Games Done Quick YouTube channel. You'll also be able to find replays of all of GDQ's past events, special events. Just head on over to youtube.com/Games Done Quick. And if you're watching this episode on YouTube right now, hello, future travelers. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe, and enable notifications so that you keep up to date on everything GDQ. But now on to our next run. Now, like most responsible Steam owners, I have a good catalogue of Steam games in my list, and I did think I double check because I do actually have the first game of this, Horizon Zero Dawn, in my Steam list. It was installed in 2023 and I still haven't even launched it once. So it's going to be interesting going straight into the sequel. This is Blastermac running Horizon Forbidden West. Take it away.
Hey y'all, Blastermac here. Gonna be running Horizon Forbidden West right after a week so gracefully dropped this off over at their studios in Amsterdam. And the graphics are looking indeed a little bit smoother, a little bit more widescreen and whatnot. Yeah, I'll be running a new game plus any % on story difficulty for y'all tonight. And I've done Aloy in the orange colors, as orange is one of the more, I'm not sure what the good term is for that, but it's a color we really like in the Netherlands. And of course, the bright colors as her face paint. Yeah, to start us off, we get here to start our new game plus. Timing doesn't actually start until we skip the third cutscene, which I will gracefully count down. All right, that's the first one. With the second one, and 3, 2, 1, start. All right, and since every time we start a new game, we start in the cable car ride, I know this dialogue by heart at this point, and I think my fellow commentators know them as well. But I would, however, like them to introduce themselves.
Yeah, so hi everyone. I'm GreedyOldKa, moderator of the Horizon speedrun community and fellow New Game Plus story speedrunner, actual world record holder of this category. Happy to be here with you, Blaster, doing this run. Always happy to see Aloy on GDQ. So.
Yeah, well, I'm Naomi. I don't run this game. I'm just here. I got invited. Well, I invited myself because I really love this game. Go buy it. It's cool.
You should have said that ain't gonna happen no time soon.
Yeah, Nick, you should have mentioned that before I signed up to be on your show that you haven't played Horizon, because I would have loved to know that.
Oh, do I need to explain how we got here?
Oh boy, you got about 12 seconds in order to just summarize Zero Dawn, yeah.
Okay, so in the first game, Aloy discovers her past. She realizes she's a clone of one of the old people in the world. She now sets out to restore the world because the world is dying and only she can do it because she has the DNA of the former scientist. And now Aloy goes to the Forbidden West to search for a copy of Gaia, which is a program that will restore the world.
Hey, that was
Is
really
that quick enough?
That was really well done, actually. Well done.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, nice.
Well, you guys are
This is my purpose here. Sorry.
You guys are you're gonna see Blaster doing some sliding here. One of the move techs here in Forbidden West. If you've seen Zero Dawn speedruns, rolling is the movement tech of choice. But here we do what we call slide canceling. You can kind of chain two slides together in this game where when Aloy goes down into one slide, if you immediately start sprinting and slide again, she'll kind of chain two of them together, and that's the fastest way to get around in this one. So,
said I could get my vote.
it seems like maybe some devs got tired of seeing some rolling and they nerfed us a little bit. That's our conspiracy over in the speedrun community. So.
it was definitely a challenge for me to unlearn the slide cancel mechanic when I started learning Zero Dawn.
Rolling seems easier, but pressing the button so many times does get tiring.
Yeah. I mean, there's also a good amount of just riding your mount.
Speaking of which, we're gonna get our mount right here.
Yeah.
So we can have yeah,
this,
sorry.
I call this mount Mike. So Mike the mount. I like alliteration in my names.
So in this game, you can have two mounts. We can have a ride mount, like a land mount, and we can have a flying mount, which we'll get later. But first we have to get our tripcaster here.
See what I can do.
Or at least we need to start like this quest part.
Yep.
So that we can skip it and then move forward into the quest. Because what we're currently doing right now is we're going to look for one of Aloy's friends from the previous game. We're looking for Errant. And Errant is one of the Ostrom, which is like a tribe. One of the Ostrom vanguard who's like around here trying to get rid of these bristlebacks. Because if the bristlebacks are not gone, then the Sun Priest won't go to the embassy because he's a particular person.
That's a very kind way of you to
if I
put
say
that,
so
yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
Studious
I
cannot use the words I want to use, so that's the language I will use. For
Not in
tonight.
polite company, right? Yeah. All right. So Aaron up there on the structure, finishing that.
And we
was a
have
good
to wait for him. Yeah, we have to wait for him to get down now.
fight. Yeah.
And he takes a while.
Yeah.
He takes a while.
So you can see,
he takes a sweet time.
Blaster
complaining about
flashing a little black screen there was actually flashing the map, so that one of the tricks in both game speedruns is that when you flash your map, it preloads all of the icons on your map, so you don't have to wait for them to kind of fade in. So that allows us to fast travel faster. So it's a quick little flick of the center button, 2 presses, and then now we can fast travel right after the dialogue here.
I need Aaron.
Yeah. I'm seeing people talking about how this game is not set in the Netherlands because there's hills. Listen,
And
we do have
it does
we
make
do
sense.
have
All right,
hills. We do have hills. They're in Limburg, okay? You just don't get it.
This is why we say elevation changes are such a problem in this game, because they don't understand them where the game was made. It's just fine. It's fine.
I feel offended, and that's all I'll say. I never knew you shot down those little logs over there. What the?
Yeah, there's a bristleback underneath it when you come
Yeah,
in.
good.
So
One less machine.
It's spear time. Yeah, I didn't know.
Another one down.
Oh, that got out of hand real quick.
Yeah, this game does that sometimes.
that bristleback can
Corey said.
they can
played
either
this one on the
stay
nerves.
there underneath where they kind of come down to the bottom of that track, or if they take off, they end up kind of on the other side of the quarry, which is super annoying, right?
Thank.
Well done on the dialogue and the mount placement there.
I think I've cleared out most of the bristlebacks. Valley should be safe enough to
Yeah, that's
travel.
quite a relatively tricky
Get some-
one. I feel like the man doesn't
Yeah,
always
and
behave. for
Belna
me.
can be either really far away when you finish that fight, or like right there where she needs to be standing for you to have a conversation. So there's something like 7 seconds in difference between whether she's like really over there or how far she has to run. So it can make or break a first split for sure.
Interesting. What we're gonna see now is that we're gonna unlock this settlement for fast travel, and then we're just immediately going to leave. The reason being is that we are kind of just close here anyway, and it's just faster to just quickly fast travel to the previous settlement, complete the quest there, and then fast travel back.
Time to give Wadis
That's
to
right.
Light.
Also, this is Olvand. He's also a particular person.
Maybe.
Olvand, what a prick.
I'm here.
Yep.
That's one way to put it.
Just
Yeah.
do the Witcher saying for him. Yeah.
What a meanie.
It is.
Chain scrapes back to
Yeah,
work.
very
Yeah, not a
satisfying
particularly
quest
nice
to finish him
person.
out and kick him out of chain scrape though in
should see if
the
they
rest
have
of the
anything
game. We don't see it here in this speedrun.
True. Yeah, it is like a side quest.
Not to mention everyone's
Essentially.
Horizon community very much loves Petra, so we do like to see her in charge.
Better see what that
God, I love Petra.
I bet.
So upgrading the hunter bow there, which is part of the quest, you have to upgrade it. They're technically you would upgrade your green hunter bow at the start to get acid arrows, which are really helpful against the bristlebacks we've been fighting. But in New Game Plus, we save it till right before we get to the embassy.
First, we could resupply.
Speaking of which, we're gonna.
We're taking a look
Yeah,
around.
because even if we start without that weapon, it will be put into our
Yeah.
Are
inventory.
you in?
Speaking of the embassy, we're gonna start that now. I think Blast is gonna attempt a skip for the walk and talk here. So this guy is just really slow. And why wait, right? So
Yeah.
let's see. 'Cause this can get a little particular.
Go up in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, back into the right there, a little bit
Oh.
back. And watch the invisible wall. You got it. Nice work.
Oh, that's
Well
really
done. Very
nice.
well.
Oh my
There we go.
god. All right. We just skipped the entire walk and talk. So we kind of have to wait for that other guy to walk with you all the way up and let you go past the guards. But this skips a solid couple seconds off of
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. There's like 12 seconds here you can save or something like that. It's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
There's a way to do it on any percent as well on New Game. You have to climb up around the side a little more and then leap down onto the platform, but it's a little trickier, but we do have a way to do that as well.
Just
Doesn't seem
All right.
quite-
So yeah, it's time to meet some characters who will die right away because we are gonna get ambushed by the one of the big villains in this game. We won't see you right now. This is Regala's raid on the embassy. So Regala is one of the main antagonists in the games, and she has the ability to overwrite machines. How did she get that ability? How do we know? Will we ever find out?
The answer is yes.
So we kind of the answer is yes. We're gonna take down the machines, and then we have to eventually take down Regala's champion because it's New Game Plus. We kind of just two tap that. We can one tap it, but the shield just wasn't
go.
working with us, and
Yeah, I
that's
just got in the
Regala's
way. It was
raid.
real close, yeah. Nice placement on the traps as well. Really well done with that.
Yeah.
Those are my strats. Nice work. I was always looking for something that was a little more consistent on those two bristlebacks. Sometimes they can throw their riders, they can fall over, like all kinds of weird stuff that like prevents you from getting all of those enemies. There's 4 enemies you need to get there in phase 2, and you need to get 6 enemies in phase 1 of that fight. So in the second phase, throwing a propelled spike and getting all 4 in one throw is really what you want. But when you put down those traps, you can really guarantee that they go off as soon as everything spawns in. So, hey, we got a first try fast travel. Let's go.
Ooh. I didn't get that in all my practice attempts today.
Tall
so
neck is
that
real
was good.
finicky there. Yeah.
Wait, what did you just do?
So the rumor system in this game, there's actually someone sitting over here by a campfire, and you can talk to certain NPCs, and they'll give you locations of machines or different rumors about things that are going on, and it might give you a fast travel to a side quest or a tall neck or like a black box or something like that. What we do there is at the end of the embassy, Lawan, the guy who's kind of now in charge because everyone's been killed, tells you about a tall neck in this area of the map, and you can actually fast travel to it right away as soon as you see an autosave circle there. It takes about 18 seconds after you clear the cutscenes for the autosave to show up. But it's really finicky. You have to open the map within a few frames in order for it to give you the fast travel. Otherwise, you have to kind of like restart from save for it to work. And even then, it's really just a finicky thing. So we hope for that to work so we can get really close to this area of the map and ride our mount down
I
here.
see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So sometimes, like if you just open it too early or too late, you'll miss those frames where you can actually fast travel. So you lose a fair bit of time.
Definitely not making notes right now. All right, good to know. Good to know. Yeah. So we're now at one of the story beats. We're gonna be starting a recording, and we mostly kind of just want to ignore it. So we kind of walk forward a lot, and then we have to wait because if we go forward too much, this will unload, and we have to restart the recording. And that's not what we want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're just gonna get ready.
Yeah, we
If
really.
Mike wants to cooperate.
No. So the game really doesn't want us to continue because if I sat next to Mike, he doesn't let me on it. So the trick is to get over.
Oh, I
just a
didn't
little
know
bit
they
higher
just
than Mike, then
disabled
you
that.
can
What?
actually-
Yeah, so they turn it off. But if you can also use the gliding tech where you jump and press X or X and square at the same time and get that high glide over the top of him, and that'll allow you to mount as well. But ultimately, the game won't
Gotcha.
allow you to mount during these like holograms and stuff. Unless you jump from a ground level that is higher than the mount is. Like if you jump a little bit lower, it won't give it to you. But if you're like higher off the ground, like if your part of the ground is higher than the mounts when you jump off of it, it's really particular. You can actually get the mount.
That's cool.
prompt. Yeah. So one of the other Horizon mods, Dorian, he figured that out for us here. So in about a minute 4 after you activate the hologram, you can start running with the mount and kind of hit the threshold for how far away from the hologram you can get before resetting it. You can hit that threshold at running speed, so you can get all the time squeezed out of that as you want.
Yeah.
So it's really nice here.
I'm just gonna talk a little bit about the story right now. For people trying to keep up with what the hell is happening on screen, I'll explain it to you. Essentially, what we're doing right now is we've been tracking down Silence, who is like another, in my opinion, is another antagonist of the previous game as well. And he essentially took a copy of Hades, the big bad at the end of the last game. And he's been like torturing it to get answers. There's no other way to say this part. He's just been torturing it.
To be fair, he's torturing him with
essentially-
pictures of bunnies, but there's that.
True. And Silence essentially found the copy of Gaia that Aloy was looking for, and now Aloy just has to get it, which is inside of this facility. So normally, what you're supposed to do in this facility is before you enter it, you have to do a fire flower thingy. So because it's New Game Plus, we already technically have the fire flower the fire flower
stuff, right?
attachment. Yeah, we already have it. But because it's like a main quest part, you have to still build it for the main quest to progress. And here we go.
Yeah.
And so now we can open it. And normally in this facility, you have to kind of like do a little 8 kind of like loop to get around to the start of the end of the facility. But I recently learned that you can just ignore all of that because you can just swim, go up a pole, and then it doesn't matter. And I'm not mad, you're mad.
Yeah, we save about 30 minutes on this area. Yeah, by just skipping this entire room in a very acrobatic way.
I just hate that we're not going to see Travis Tate. I love Travis Tate. And we're just not going to see him.
We're gonna see someone even better.
No,
Eric.
what are you saying? Take that back.
It's like the worst take I've ever heard, actually. There's a few things here too, so like there's a few ways to get across this as well. The way that Blaster just did it is like one of the most conservative ways, but really easy to get up there. You can climb right up that post. There's another way to jump up and kind of glide over to that, and there's another way to jump around it as well without ever really having to use your glider, which is crazy. But before that too, there was a really cool trick that Blaster did where he skipped about 35 seconds of dialogue when making the igniter to blow up that fire gleam, using a trick of like looking at a broken machine that was in that tunnel with Hades to make it skip dialogue and have Silence give you the schematic for that igniter about 35 seconds early. So I just wanted to say really well done, because that's a really finicky skip. So.
I didn't even know he was doing a skip there. I was just doing some moves.
Yeah, I was watching it. I was like, ooh, nice done. And that downward look with the camera that you were doing, I've never seen someone do it like that, and that was really well done.
Spider thing is a testing apparatus for Gaia and Hades.
Yeah, at that point it was
We're gonna
just sort
take a
of
look at that
muscle
access
memory
panel.
getting into there. Yes. Because I know you're not supposed to look at the thing, because that triggers the dialogue, of course. And at one point I just kept doing it over and over, and the muscle memory just stuck.
I see.
Apart from that, but
Yeah, that was also something I found on New Game Plus, to Alice's point in chat, actual.
Hades is down, but the
Yeah, I found that in any percent, you can actually run out of the facility and go underwater while they're talking, and that will cancel the dialogue and give you the schematic.
Gotcha. Here's Eric. We're just gonna ignore him. I could explain who these guys are and what they do, but does it really matter in the end?
We'll have time for that while we're on the mount later.
They're evil space people.
Yeah, it's just this guy sucks. I don't know what to tell everyone.
Well done. All right, nice. So Blaster just shot several of the red rings on this all at once using the Spectre Gauntlet, which is a trick that works on PS5 and is really just inconsistent on PC. But you can use the explosion from the DLC weapon to like take out multiple of those red rings at a time and knock down the spider. And it saves something like over a minute, like a minute and 15 seconds if you do it right. It's really crazy how long that fight is because all of the rings are on a timer and you kind of have to dodge Eric because he's invulnerable during that fight. So really well done with the placement of the railgun shots.
Guys, if you haven't already...
Yeah, really made up for the fact that the second phase didn't go as smooth as I would have liked. But
I just wanted to...
overall,
I just want to say, guys,
decent.
if you haven't already, just go follow Blaster Mac. Like, they're doing such an awesome job on this run. I've just been enjoying myself.
It's such a fun game to run too, because like the platforming is really fun and you have to be precise and like, you know, kind of know how it all works and where you can best jump from. And like the thing about the engine for this game is like everything you see has a hitbox. Like everything, every bump, every rock, every little thing has a hitbox. So like even just sliding across the ground can be frustrating. But also like when you get it done right, it's really rewarding, you know, like the things that when you do like the gliding tech or like doing a lot of the platforming skips that are coming up here in Tau are going to be just really fun to watch because of how this engine works and how the terrain is. It's just really cool to have tiny little hitboxes to work on and like do this really like intricate and like amazing looking 3D platformer basically where that's the final boss for me is making sure all the skips work, you know. On story, fights are what they are, but when you're trying to get around, that's really gets to be the tough part. So
Yep, the game has a little bit of everything for everyone because we got good movement tech, we got some skips, we got some good combat. We even got some out of bounds. Coming up later.
It's just a perfect speedrun. It has a little bit of everything, you know, everything you want in a good speedrun. It's right there.
Yeah.
Also, I never knew there was this thing over here. I always just walk around. This settlement is confusing.
Yeah, so what Blaster's doing here is talking to someone who is like the leader of the hunting ground nearby, and what that does is gives him a fast travel to the hunting ground. But what it also does is gives him an autosave so that he can restart from save, and that moves Varl and Zoe all the way to the top. Otherwise, it's something like 2 minutes of them just strolling on up and having a conversation while you wait for them to get in place to talk to them at the top. So it puts them in place right away, and we also get a fast travel here, which takes us closer to the Cauldron Tau. So
I just can't imagine being a developer of this game and then watching this and going like, oh, I love this part, and then you just skip all of it.
The whole thing. Yeah, we're about to skip like 35 minutes worth of Cauldron Tau in about.
Yeah, but this is cool though.
Yeah, they're really fun skips. This is my favorite.
Yeah, you
absolutely. These are my favorite skips in the entire run. So there are 3 really fun kind of movement skips that we do here in Tau, and typically what we're doing here is finding out that you know the Utaru land gods are being repurposed into machines by Hephaestus, and that he's getting kind of you know, our old friend from the DLC of Zero Dawn, the Frozen Wilds, is back. He's turning things into weapons, and we, you know, want to go in and kind of see what's going on in here. So we're going to try and chase him out, and yeah, the mount's not cooperating, unfortunately. There's a nice little backup you can do without the mount. You can use the mount to jump up into this corridor as well. So we're going to head in here, and we're going to open up this door and activate our first Valor Surge of the run. And this is the Chain Burst, which chains our damage from one machine to the next. There are 3 Leaf Lashers that are going to come through a shield here, and Blaster's going to time it for when the first one comes through, and you can actually chain the damage to the ones behind it, whether they're in front or in back of it. Nice work. So all 3 of them go down no matter which one you hit, and then we're moving in. So normally you'd have to like pull on a few pillars here to move them around so you can climb on them and like pull out like grab spots and things like that. We're just going to use some stuff on the wall to jump around, which is really simple, but they're very precise jumps.
That thing I said, once it's dead, it takes over places like these.
There we go.
The machines.
So we'll run around the wall here. A little bit of a foothold and then a wall jump backwards. It's a little tricky wall jump here that she doesn't always want to get it. Nice work on tile 1.
What did I just do?
Oh, really happy that,
Yep,
that I
there's a
got
good
that first
the point
try,
in
though.
there. Yeah, the point in there
That's
where
a
you do the
tricky
wall
one.
jump over. If you miss that jump out of the corner, you lose about 20 seconds because you got to get back up and do the whole thing again.
How do
So
we cross? Cables are twisted.
there we go. Nice Tau 2.
Oh,
And what Blaster's doing there is using a skill that you
Sorry.
get in the melee tree that's called a jump slash. And so you press R1 and R2 and she'll swing twice. And on the second one, jump really high in the air. And you kind of use that to get extra height and speed with your glide to make her cover more distance. And that helps you with that Tau 2 to go straight across. We can also go kind of off to the right and climb up and around, which is sort of the intended path. Like you use kind of the end of the intended path over there. But we use a lot of the corruption from Hephaestus to jump our way up there. It only saves about 4 or 5 seconds to do it with the jump slash. So there's a few ways to kind of do each of these skips. So
Yeah, sorry, I just popped off on that because I've seen Blaster practice the past week and just trying to get that and just like sitting in just in a VC sharing screen, just doing a jump over and over and getting down the first try. Oh my god, that
Yeah.
was so good.
it's a really good towel. Yeah. So you have to wait a little bit for the arms around the Grimhorn there to go down. And now we're going to be
Yeah.
able to... Ooh. We'll try again. One more.
There we go.
It's all good.
Oh,
So what Blaster was trying to do, and you kind of have to be a little further right, is what happened. Like more in the corner. But you can kind of get Aloy's hands while she's aiming to go through the hologram shield there and shoot the machines on the other side with the bomb. And if you're not in the right place, the bomb just kind of hits the shield there as soon as you let it go. But it kind of saves you a little bit, but only a few seconds. Then, you know, they're really easy to take down with just a single bomb. So really good towel, though, Blaster. Really well done there. That's fantastic work.
oh yeah.
That was like
Let's press on then.
the coolest stuff I've seen in a while. Holy crap, that was really good. Speaking of really good, the story's getting really good because we're gonna be face to face with Minerva. Ooh.
For about a quarter second.
Was that the spirit?
She's just like an AI. Yeah. Look, it's cooler in my head than it is in the speedrun, all right?
That's also true. Yeah, absolutely.
You'll skip it so much.
If you take the time to listen to the story, it's very cool.
Well, the interesting thing about Minerva is that Aloy actually appeals to her
Emergency lights work.
feelings for the AI. Like she sounds like she's suffering
Yeah,
not being a part
correct.
of Gaia, so she offers her
Minerva's definitely
peace,
here.
you know, which is really cool. Like she reasons
Trying
with
to
it.
keep us out.
So,
I'll scout ahead.
fun thing is that all of Gaia's subcomponents are named after Greek gods,
Yeah.
except Minerva, who's named after the Roman god, because her Greek name is Athena, but they chose Minerva because it just sounded cooler, and that's the only reason why.
I'm down.
And
I can vibe with that.
completely fair. And also, like, Athena, if you think about Apollo as well, I mean, you would expect Athena to be more about the knowledge.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's interesting how they
It's,
split it up, yeah, right?
Well, this is literally the only sub-program that's called after a Roman god. No others.
All right. So we're heading up.
Sorry.
It's Minerva telling us we're not welcome
Leave that
here.
Easily, Minerva.
It's not very kind.
For people wondering what Minerva actually does, Minerva is essentially the hacking module for Gaia. So Minerva hacks. That's it.
And Minerva was in charge of the tower that Hades was trying to use to awaken all the the Pharaoh machines in the first game. So the Spire
Correct,
and
yeah.
Meridian is Minerva would use those to broadcast the shutdown codes to the Swarm after all the people were gone after Project Zero Dawn. So
Maybe she can help me
her being done,
Yeah.
done with that, you know, and having been separated from Gaia, she's hiding in this facility now.
Why do they want
Yeah, she's scared as Oldka mentioned.
Okay, now I've got to find
So
a way to...
Aloy is just Aloy is like the Naruto of the Horizon universe, you know?
I have established a network between you. Focus on
Okay, elaborate.
You know how in Naruto there's a big bad, and then Naruto's like, look,
So what
I
was
can
it?
fight you, but I can also just talk.
regional controls.
So this was supposed to be...
Yeah.
No jutsu.
Yeah, exactly.
okay,
Yeah.
that one.
It's the Goku approach. You fight for a while and then you make friends.
Machine data you recovered.
Well, I mean, Aloy doesn't really fight Minerva. She's just like, hey, can you like not? And then Minerva's like,
Data for
okay.
machine parts to fix
And here we
the
are.
override.
My initialization.
All right.
is complete.
Okay.
So a really good Zoe
Time to
skip
talk to
there.
Gaia.
So Zoe comes down and what Blaster did there was use her dialogue, just like you did with the Igniter skip. Use dialogue from Zoe to skip
Hi.
some Gaia dialogue and allow us to go to
Maybe
the
while they have...
override module desk for a bit. You have to look at that and then come back up here and have this nice long dialogue percent with Gaia. This is like 35 seconds of dialogue. It's a lot of pressing X and choosing some dialogue selections here. So
But Oldka, it's story. How can we not enjoy it?
you do actually hear a fair bit of this as well. So
I
Do you
mean,
live up?
Yeah. Long story short, aliens. That's it.
some rich folks got on
You're
a
not
plane,
wrong.
or no plane, a rocket, and left
On the
Earth.
plane.
And
Wow,
then-
they got really far.
They went out to Sirius. They stayed there for about 1,000 years, and then they made an AI of themselves that got really mad at them for locking it away and calling it a failure. So then it destroyed their entire civilization, and they came back here. And on the way back, that AI sent a message that broke up Gaia because it thought that these Zeniths were going to come back and do their thing and use Gaia to like make a home here. So it wanted to prevent that, and that's what caused everything for the last 2 games. But we just found out, hey, they came back. They have another copy of Elizabeth Sobek, who is basically us. So there's another one of us out there. We found that out when we fought Eric. So we're now looking for different parts of Gaia so that we can make her strong enough to catch Hephaestus and defeat the Zeniths. There's another step in there, but Prophet is at the end. So.
Yeah. Also, important note that Zeniths are people who left Earth to go to Sirius. The people that came back from Sirius to Earth are the same people. They have immortality. They cannot die.
Yeah, they through
it's
genetic
like-
alteration and pharmaceuticals, basically they live forever. So
Yeah, which creates some interesting opportunities in narrative because, well, one of the Zeniths actually has a Dutch name. And she was in love with Elizabeth Sobek, and there's a whole thing about that I could talk very long about, but we got some flying to do. And I think Blaster has a fun name for this mount because it's our flying mount.
this is Steve.
Steve
it's
is
really
Sunwing.
funny because B-Dud's ground mount is Steve. This is
What?
Richard. Yeah. Richard.
This is
the flying
Richard?
mount. Yeah. Yeah.
Richard
I don't
is
have
our
a name for
producer
my
right
mount.
now.
I just use inflammatory language when I talk about them, so it's perfectly fine. They don't deserve anything from me. So
I can get why.
we're on New Game Plus, and you can get a Sunwing, a flying mount, as soon as you unlock the base on New Game Plus. But you can't do this until you go all the way past the Gemini quest in the new game portion of it. You get it really late in the game, even into Act 3, as far as we would call it for the speedrun. We get to use the flying mount from here on out, so you're going to see what's called barrel rolling. B-Dud, who's another fellow runner of all things Horizon. Once the Burning Shores update came out, we found that it was actually faster to barrel roll with the mounts the flying ones than it was to just fly in a straight line. And it wasn't like that before Burning Shores came out. Something about the way that the mounts move, the really like precise movements that they had after that update happened, just made them faster to roll over and over again to the side. And you cover something like 35 meters for every roll, and it's just a little bit faster than flying in a straight line. Over the course of the entire run, you save something like 1:20 if you do those in the flying section. So it's
crazy fast.
pretty crazy fast.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Something very important. So Blaster is supposed to do 3 quests now. And each of the quests will deliver a sub-function back. Now, we're gonna do a short pit stop here because we need to essentially get some parts. And one of the parts will be on one of the robots that we have to defeat, one of the machines. And the thing is, we're not going to stay around here and get that machine part around here to complete the quest. Throughout the other quests, we're going to encounter the robot naturally. And the game is programmed in a way that when you defeat any of those robot machine types anywhere, you will just get the part. So it's faster to just quickly do a little bit of this part, then go to the meter, essentially. And the meter's part, you will get that robot, you kill it, you take the part then, and then you come back here. So essentially, we're just quickly activating this part so that we can come back later without spending time on a little bit of a sidetrack getting a machine part.
Yeah,
that's essentially what we're doing right now.
Yeah, it really just like starts a quest, like a portion of one of the main quests,
Exactly,
so that
yeah.
you can get some of the objectives you need in line with the other main quests. One of the things you do have to go out of the way for here, Blaster's going to go to Memorial Grove and talk to a few folks inside to get more of this quest for the ether sub-function in order to kind of keep moving. But when on his way through to the next portion of this quest, he's going to stop off at a hunting ground that has a bellow back where we can loot one of the parts we need. And then what Naomi was saying about going to Demeter, there's a long leg there that we need a part from as well. And those are both kind of on our way, flying through or moving through a quest. So we'll get those, and that will negate us having to go to a caravan of machines that goes by the desert down where we just were. So really, it's just like a routing thing. And like it was alluded to, the game doesn't care what machine you kill as long as you kill the right type of machine. It doesn't have to be in any certain location. So it's a really cool thing that we kind of exploited here.
Yeah, we're gonna be in Hokara right now, and we're gonna be getting a huge part of the quest done here for Kotalo. But we're kind of just gonna leave it after we've done like the Kotalo shooting cannon part, and come back later as well. It's another routing thing. It just makes sense to come back later.
Yeah, these are all kind of on the path going out that way. So starting the quest for the ether sub-function, getting about halfway through it, and then branching off and going to finish the Demeter sub-function, then coming to beta, which is kind of something you're forced into after the first sub-function return. There's a side quest. You can't even leave the base. You just have to go into this other quest. And then you come back and we finish the ether quest. And then we go off and finish the Poseidon quest, which is what we started by going in the water and collecting an air capsule for a diving mask. And the bellow back and the long leg give us the other parts for that. So it's kind of mixes up the 3 main quests, but it puts it on a trajectory that's kind of a straight line through the story. So,
yeah. Question: which of these 3 quests is your favorite?
Wow.
I got to think about that one for a
Yeah,
second,
they're all so cool and unique in their own way. So
from a casual perspective, I like Demeter because of the story of like what went on at the greenhouse facility and how they developed the technology that caused the feral robots to like eat biomatter as fuel, and that they were trying to find a counter for that through basically what would be like the adamantine reeks, the metal plants that would deprive them of sustenance, basically. and protect other biological matter. Like, it was a cool story that they were, you know, contrite about what they had provided and how it led to the end of the world. And then it's where, like, Aloy and Alva find out how the world ended, right? Like, this is where it started. They did it here. So I always thought from a story perspective, that's really fun. Poseidon is more fun from a visual perspective, I think, and a story perspective. It's just really fun to hear the story of, like, the guy that saved Las Vegas during the environmental crisis and stuff like that. There's some cool stuff there. So
My personal favorite is actually the one we're doing right now with Katalo. I think Katalo as a character is like one of the best characters that they've written, especially if you get to do his side quest where you get him a bionic arm. Like, it just all comes back together so well, because Katalo really reflects a lot of, like, Aloy. It's just so good. It's so good.
The determination and, like, you know, just always seeing it through to the goal and stuff like that. So yeah, really good stuff.
Exactly. But also, like, being very close off and not, like, wanting help, essentially, or needing help.
Yeah, they're a good mirror of each other, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. But then he opens up, and then Aloy also starts up. It's so good.
So we just did what's called Katalo skip here, which is a really cool thing where we kind of cheesed Katalo's pathing to make him think we followed him all the way down the path. So Blaster, you had to jump off of, after his dialogue with Katalo way back at Stone's Crest, where he first jumped on the mount. He had to jump off immediately. If you let Katalo run off, he'll think that you're following him, and then he'll just wait there for you. But if you jump off and away from him, you can actually fly down and have the mount bring you to another point on his path, and he will just transport all the way there where you meet his path mesh, and he just shows up there. So what we do is fly all the way to the end and have him show up right at the end and just get right into the bulwark from there. Otherwise, you follow him down the path. You have to fight a couple groups of rebels and stuff like that. We skip all that stuff, and we call that Katalo skip. So,
and I think it's a crime. How can you not have more Katalo in your speedrun?
I assure you, you are not alone in that.
Scan it properly.
Can we have a speedrun category that's just Katalo? It's just Katalo.
All Katalo stuff. So we have different things like hug percent. A few people have done where you get all the hugs in the game. In ZD we have an all allies percent, which I don't think anyone's done in Forbidden West, where it's like you have to get the trophy for all your allies to show up at the end. So you, like, basically go meet everyone in the game. It'd be cool to get like all of the main characters' quests done in just a speedrun. I think we do some fun, like, challenge runs.
That actually sounds pretty cool. I might actually start learning this speedrun. I'm just here for fun, but I might as well just learn it. I mean, why not?
So Blaster just did some really, so we looked at a tank with a power cell that's inside of the big stone wall there at that settlement. And we used a couple of fast travels to cancel dialogue and things and events. And then you come out here and you have to fight this Tremor Tusk and a few of the Regala's rebels. So we kill the Tremor Tusk. If you take out the humans before the Tremor Tusk, you'll get more humans, and you don't want that. So always take out the Tremor Tusk first. And then there's a few of these, and we want to go and loot the cannon off of here. We want that. We got them all dialogue before you hear it. So we quick loot, travel to the campfire between here and the bulwark, and then we'll take that. Katalo will carry that cannon over here, and we will blow up a wall. So. And that's where we kind of pause on the ether subfunction and make our way over to the Demeter subfunction. So we're going to call the flying mount and keep it here in this area so that we can make use of it after we're done with this cutscene here.
Yeah, because we're gonna shoot up a wall. It's a little inconsistent, but essentially, I believe Blaster told me this the other day. I believe the running theory, because this shot is kind of tricky. The running theory is that there are 3 rocks that need to fall down, and once all of them have fallen down, the cutscene starts.
Yep.
But it's a little inconsistent.
Yeah, there's three big ones around the cursor there that he's shooting at. And you need them all to break before, and then the last shot you have to take actually has to hit the center. and hit that little thing in the middle, and that causes an explosion of the power cell in the cutscene. So that's done, skipping that, and then he had placed the mount there behind him so that he could take off real quick and head off towards the greenhouse or the Seeds of the Past quest. So
Yeah. So as mentioned, I'm gonna leave Aether here because normally we're supposed to go back to the Memorial Grove and essentially face off another Regala evasion. But we're not doing that. It's faster for us to now go to Demeter and actually finish that sub-function quest.
yeah, and so this is on
we
the
have a little bit of flying to do right now.
yeah, and this is on like kind of the south west end of the map or whatever. So like we are, way over on kind of as far as we can get at this point in the story. So we want to take care of this quest because it's entirely contained within the facility down there to the right. So we want to finish that all off, and then we'll go back and finish the ones that are kind of closer to the base, and then we'll go back out here to get to San Francisco later on.
So why are we not just flying?
So there used to be a way to get the flying mount over here. We had a skip called Rising Skip where we could get the flying mount to go over this mountain, but there is an invisible wall at the top of this mountain. And some patch that kind of changed how mounts interact around invisible walls so that they wouldn't get stuck. There was a patch, I can't remember which version, but it changed the way they interact, and we can no longer do that because the mount just absolutely will not get close enough for us to try to clip it through. So we used to be able to just fly down here, but now we have to jump down the mountain basically as fast as we can and use our charger mount to get in here. We used to fly right to this point here and just drop into the cutscene and then come over here, and our mount would be flying and we would just like pull cast to it. It was really quick for the time being, but we found a lot of skips that have made the run a lot faster since then even. So, but it was a cool thing where I think we lost like 35 seconds on the run, like overall when it changed. So.
Gotcha. Well, some cool stuff is about to happen. So
yeah, we're meeting the
We're going to be coming up on an encounter. And in that encounter, we're doing some dialogue stuff first. But in that encounter that we're going to be in, if we land on the ground at all, reinforcements will spawn in. Which means
you gotta stay up here on this broken
If we
building.
stay up here, they don't spawn in. So now we can just take out these guys and get through the quest faster, because the quest is asking us to kill the strangers. And if we just have 3 less of the strangers, then we can just shoot these 4 guys and we're done.
There we go.
Yeah, you can restart.
That was some good
Yeah.
sniping.
I really wish they speak
Oh,
faster
so
to me.
yeah, you can restart from save and it'll put
really?
you right about where you are now. Yeah. Yep. So
Oh, cool.
if you
That's
just
good to know.
as soon as you hit that guy
Future
in the back,
time
just
save.
RFS, and it'll put you down on the ground. So it saves a little bit of time, and on PC with the load remember it saves even more time. So,
to be operated in unison.
but yeah,
It's time
so
for Alva time. It's time for Alva.
Okay,
I
here
am.
we go.
I have to say, not an Alva fan, but that's fine. That's fine.
It's okay. I will be the Alva fan.
There's plenty of them.
If you're not the Alva
Lots-
fan, I'll compensate. It's
Lots
okay.
of people. Lots of people love Alva. All right.
You know what I also love? A speedrun with some out of bounds clips.
Oh yeah, and the Demeter out of bounds is nice and fun because it's really one of those out of bounds where you can't see where you're going. So you kind of have to keep the camera a little lower here so you can not see all these weird nonsense like screens. But we're making our way kind of around the tunnels, so we don't have to go through and climb up and run around. So we're kind of going over the top and a straight run across, and we'll drop in through a hole. So we jumped out of a hole in one, and now we'll drop into a hole in another.
Very
Yeah.
conveniently
Right at the end of
It says it's
the thing.
It's as if the devs knew.
Got a hole here and a hole there. It took actually one of our members using a no clip feature on PC to actually find this, I think. So some of these things were definitely not found until we were like, oh yeah, we can like just jump up here on PC. Well, let's try it on PS5. One of the cool things you have to do there is what we call a wall jump cancel. So one of the things they added in Forbidden West was the ability to go like jump into a wall and then push circle to do a wall jump off of that wall. And it gives Aloy the ability to kind of, you know, get a little more height or things like that. We can use that quite a bit to like jump up walls and like, you know, skip a whole lot of stuff.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Long legs and burrowers throwing stuff at you here.
Yeah, so
But we use that to jump up that hole in the pipe. There's a very small spot where you can get a wall jump, and then you press the heavy attack, the R2, and that will cause her to jump in the air. And then if you aim right after you press the R2, you can control Aloy's jump off the wall and just go straight up and like get her to land on things. And that's how you get the footing for getting out of that pipe. So.
It looks like the one we used at the first
speaking of like the long leg just now, the long leg there is essentially used to get the part that we need for the Poseidon quest. I think
you have to go back out and
skipped it and get it back out because it was a little dangerous right now back then.
Yeah, so yep, so
Technically, this is faster.
So there's a 45-second dialogue with Alva once you blow up this wall and pull that console out there. Once you pull this into place, there's 45 seconds of dead time, basically. You can go back out and loot the long leg if you want. I think B-Dud goes and actually kills it out there at this point and then like loots it and comes back in. So if you've actually like killed it, now you just got to run out and loot it to get the part from it and then come back in and make it to a certain spot on the wall before it's over. So, but it's plenty of time. I like the idea of shooting the long leg right there and then getting it, you know, just looting it and coming back in. So, but normally you'd have to go off to the left here and jump across this whole platform and stuff. But if you use this gliding tech, you can just jump right up to the handholds and stuff. And what I mean by gliding tech is that jumping while pressing square, so pressing X and square at the same time, will open your glider at the very tip top of Aloy's jump, and it makes her just stay really high up. It gives her more height than she would normally be able to grab onto things. So we use it a lot to get extra height. And if you jump off of a mount and do it, or like if you jump off of somewhere and try to glide, you get so much more distance. So it's a really cool technique that was added when the Burning Shores came around. We actually used it in a few places in the Burning Shores. There's what we call like super glides, where Aloy will literally just rise up in the air when you open your glider in certain areas. And we use that to skip some really cool things late in the like the Horus fight and stuff like that. So.
We need to operate both consoles simultaneously to open the hatch.
I'll get to the other console.
Ready when you...
So a little bit more running underneath here.
Test Station Ivy can't be far.
We'll have a Dreadwing fight, which should be over in about a blink of an eye.
Yeah, I was about to say how much I hate how you guys do the Dreadwing fight, because the Dreadwing fight is so cool, and then Blaster showed it, I was like, what? What was the point?
It can, if you're really good at the aiming, it can be less than a second of your feet being on the ground before you kill the Dreadwing. So, we'll see how it goes.
Can you guys just not respect my video game?
I love the Dreadwing. I just like him to die faster more.
Let's find a way to get into the proving ground.
So we kind of jump up and through here. And the little light on the wall there, you want to aim with your propelled spike. Oh, I think you hit the tree.
Oh.
There we go.
Yeah.
If you hit the wall.
There we go.
Yeah, you hit the birch tree, the third one here. But right here, it hangs right above the IV symbol there. So if you just throw the propelled spike up there, as soon as you land, you can get it. So I've hit that tree so many times.
There has to be some data here on the adamantine wreath we can use. This console's
I think that's a first for me.
You try to be quick and
so that's
try to snap in
never
your
happened
face, and it just sometimes it catches a branch. Propelled spikes, blast slings, anything that explodes in this game. Area damage from explosions is really finicky. I mean, traps don't even work on the PC version. Like that, you can put a trap in a place for the start of a fight, and if something spawns in on it, it doesn't do any damage. Same thing for like blowing up bellowback sacks and stuff on PC. They just don't do any damage. The bellowback sack that Blaster shot during the Tremor Tusk fight is supposed to take out something like 4 of the rebels. It doesn't work at all on PC. If you shoot it, it does no damage, doesn't do any status effects. It's basically decoration. So that and traps and like certain explosions, the Spectre Gauntlet, the strat that we used during the Eric fight, that doesn't work on PC. It just won't shoot more than one of the red rings consistently. Back when the PC version came out, I was able to get it to work like once or twice, but there's some really like nuanced things that work or don't work. But here in this game, I mean, in the PS5 version, explosions are go-to, but also they're really finicky. The hitboxes for them, if there's anything in the way, like small things on the ground, they can block explosive damage from doing what you expect it to do, and then you just kind of don't get what you want. One of the biggest culprits for that is the bristleback fight in the quarry at the very beginning of the game. Sometimes you can throw a spike trap all the way up where the last 2 spawn in up the hill. You can hit them dead on and not do any damage, which is like one of the most frustrating things. So there's some really weird things that happen, but ultimately we like to throw propelled spikes. We like to use bombs and a fully drawn bow on New Game Plus story for your hunter bow, especially if you have the DLC bow, and all the DLC coils is enough to take out most things in the game.
I just want to mention something real quick. Because it's New Game Plus, we already have the means to open up metal flowers, except for the metal flower that leads to this room, because they programmed it that metal flower cannot be destroyed unless you complete the quest.
Right.
So, how dare they?
You can do everything else on the map. Yep. Yeah, and Naomi mentioned it back at Latopolis as well. Like when we crafted the igniter, you have to do the story-based crafting things, and whatever event comes immediately after to kind of test that out, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. The one thing I just wanted to mention is that the fast travel to the base is always so misleading, because in the game when I just fast travel to the base, I just expect to spawn here, but no, they put you out at the campfire that is the furthest walk away of the 2 campfires they set up, and it's my personal beef. Whoever decided that, I will find you.
So the first time you talked to Gaia, that really long dialogue, when Blaster came back out of the room, he moved to the right a little bit and got a campfire to the east of the base, and that one is actually the closest fast travel because it puts you right outside one of the doors on the cliff,
exactly
out by where Varl is. So you want to get that one out when you first get in there, and you can't actually collect it until after you've talked to Gaia. It's like it won't unlock until that happens. So we run out of the Gaia conversation, slide down the stairs, we go to the right a little bit, and then we go to the left to talk to Varl and Zoe, and then head off to our sub functions. So it's a really important campfire get. If you don't get it, you lose like 25 seconds having to go to the other side, get into the base, go get that campfire, and then head back in when you get back. So back before we kind of discovered that, like right away, it was something people did a lot. And also, that campfire is so close to the base that you have to be careful about selecting the campfire and not the base, because the base will put you on the west side.
So I don't get it. Why did they do it like that? Anyway, I just want to talk about the strat that we're doing here. So Blaster is putting down traps near some of these interacts. The reason why is that, Aloy will take a long time to sit down and start talking about the thing that she's looking at. But the bombs... Give it a second. Explode. Oh, that just yeah. When they hit you, they will cancel Aloy's animation so you can walk to the next one. But she will still finish the dialogue and still progress the quest. So we don't have to sit around and wait around for too long. So, but if that thing hit us, at least, but it didn't. So yeah.
Yeah. Actually, the most important part of this bit is the first one you do, right? With the dead Zenith and the Spectre over there. The rest, these last 2.
Yeah, like 1 or 2. The first few are the ones that save most of it. But yeah, you're trying to use the sticky bombs and the acid status effect to stop you from interacting with things. So we'll see the same thing when Blaster gets down to a console down here. Usually you shoot a bomb right at the base of the console to leave a status effect there, and then that'll break you off of interacting with it. You can run to the door, where normally you'd interact with the console until the door unlocks. So you can save that time for the travel here and get to the door before it's actually able to be interacted with. Otherwise, you'd still be at the console right now. So,
Yeah.
all right.
So now we're heading to the cradles essentially.
Yep.
Because we're looking for another subfunction, and the subfunction we are going for is Eulythia, which is the cradle facility that allows humans to be reborn. Essentially, that's basically what it is for. And we got like a distress signal, and we're trying to figure out what it is. And
unironically, for me, this is the hardest
Putting in
part.
237.
Inputting this code. I accidentally make it 137, 236. It's unironically hard
It also
for me. I don't know
doesn't
why.
move right away when you have to wait for it to show up on PS5, where on PC, whatever way you're pushing the stick when it shows up, it actually goes right to it. So it's a lot easier to input on PC, I've found.
I just want to.
And on PC, you can
exactly.
also
I
use
just
your
want to say
numpad.
we're putting down this trap here, and there he goes.
Yeah, blew up a Spectre
supposed
already,
to be there's supposed to be like a boss fight there, or like a fight there, and it just walks in on a trap and instantly dies. So we just don't do anything,
Yeah,
magical
story is
story.
really fun.
and I hate you for it anyway. Anyway, so we're gonna go back out,
to be fair,
and
on Ultra
there's gonna
Hard,
be another
it's-
Spectre.
On Ultra Hard,
sorry.
it's not much slower, to be fair.
Gotta get to Aaron.
We put
enough,
a
fair
trap
enough.
down there, but we wait instead of running away, and then we turn around and shoot the weak spot on its tail end. So now
enough.
throwing a spike through the shield. If you hit the shield, it won't die. So you do actually have to be a little bit precise there and throw it through the center.
Maybe the Zeniths won't be so invincible after
But it's still
all.
just a one shot with the propelled spike. So we looked at this thing before. It was too hot for us to look at it before we went down. Now it's fine. So we look at
Get
it.
the weapon fragment
to the
Gaia
right, there you go.
analyze. If we can replicate it,
Yeah.
maybe we'll
Can't-
have a
This
way.
also-
It is like putting two campfires right next to the base, but every time you teleport to the base, you go to the first campfire. Anyway,
All right, so now we head down,
Thanks, Guy.
talk to Varl, and
beta.
so I guess we could do the beta talk. There's another sub-function after this. Is that where we're trying to do a break?
Yeah, when we fast travel to the next location, then we can pause for our
That's coming
early
up in
break.
about 15 seconds.
What? No, the same. You didn't. I cellular.
Yeah.
I suppose. When I
Beta's having an existential crisis right now, and
before
We just mashed through
it
it.
is a little rude of you, not gonna lie, but fair enough.
We promise we care, but we don't have time to listen.
Okay.
And 3, 2, 1, pause.
That's the pause.
And just pause it here.
She's with us. Let her pass.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
So we have 2 more sub-functions and the end of the game. So
Yeah, roughly halfway through it right now.
Brilliant. This has been so wonderful to watch so far. It's it's a beautiful game graphically. I think the thing that I'm loving the most about it is Aloy's movement. It's it's so fluid, and the getting on and off of mounts is nice and quick. There's so many games you play where you go to get onto a mount and the game sort of takes a bit of a pause, but she gets on and off them so quickly. It's really fluid, and I'm loving this so far, and you're all doing an absolutely fantastic job. So chat, please give your appreciation. Please stick around to see the rest of this run. We are going to take a short break just before we go. A reminder that if you are ever curious about what is coming up on Hotfix, you can check out this week's schedule and explore future season lineups at gdq.gg/Hotfix. So as I say, please stick around. We're going to go to a quick break, and then when we come back, we will see the conclusion of Horizon Forbidden West. See you all in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Fast Travel, the show where we visit different communities around the world to see the speedruns and the runners from those regions. And speaking of communities, the biggest community event, or one of the two biggest community events of the year for GDQ, is, of course, coming up. Awesome Games Done Quick 2026 will be live in Pittsburgh from January 4th to the 10th. Now, if you'd like to attend, if you'd like to volunteer, please submit your application by the 5th of October. So you've only got till the end of this weekend to get your applications in. Of course, registration is also open. Be sure to register if you want to experience the event in person. And of course, you can upgrade to a foil badge as long as you get your registration in and you do the extra bit before November 1st. Visit gdq.gg for more info on that. Without any further ado, we are going to jump straight back in and see the second half of this fantastic Horizon Forbidden West run. Blastermac, the stage is yours.
All right, then without any further ado, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Let's go
It's
back
time for
in.
Aether.
Chief Hikaru and Marshal Katara.
All right.
So, if you remember, we helped Katalo get the last plan to participate in the. Is it called the cool route or the bull route?
The cool route, yeah. Yep.
Cool route, cool route.
Cool route.
Yeah.
We did that by blowing
sorry.
up their nice protective wall.
Yeah. And what we're gonna do now is essentially we have some machines to kill. There's like a snake and
Turned into a fire.
There's like a snake,
cutscene.
yeah.
Aether time.
So here at the Cool
Fast
Route,
travel.
Hikaru, who we painfully do not get enough of his voice in this speedrun, we are here to defend what is like a tradition of theirs to pick marshals, which are his like generals, basically, to help him control, you know, the tribe and stuff like that. So we're here to protect this from Regala, who's going to attack it with machines, and they expect her to come. Just because like she's challenging his legitimacy at every turn kind of thing. So we're here, we're about to do what we colloquially call the pew pew section, but we are not going to do the pew pew. We are going to do the boom boom. And we use chain burst here, which as we saw in Tau, chains together our damage. Really well done, nice throw. And what this does is kind of takes everything out. I think you got the roller back, so you got to get, yep, the plow horn. There you go. And so now we should go into a cutscene. That was pretty quick, even though you didn't get the early one. So they come in waves, and if you complete the first 2 waves all at once, the game thinks you've like gone into the next part of the game, even though there's still machines alive. So you can kind of trigger an early cutscene there. But Blaster killed all of them, got the cutscene, immediately threw another one at the snake, killed that, and skipped another cutscene. And now we are headed kind of to the end where the cutscene will skip. We will confront Regala and kind of save Hikaru and Katalo, and now we can go and get Aether from
Come on, Aether.
the console underneath the place here. So
Time for Aether.
So as you can see here, as Blaster gets to each of these, they're all actually happy to go back to Gaia when she like picks them up. The only one that really doesn't want to go is Festus, who is just like, no, leave me alone. I just want to make machines. Please stop killing my machines. If you don't stop killing my machines, I'm going to use my machines to kill you. I'm going to need y'all to just quit that. And we don't do that because, you know, people need to make clothes and stuff.
By now you think like Aloy would try to get Hephaestus right now as well. There's just one big problem with Hephaestus. Hephaestus is a global program, so he can go to any cauldron in the world to hide from Aloy.
Yep.
Which is kind of an issue.
Yep. And to be fair,
but
it's really like relegated to their location here in the American West. So like they do talk about the Cauldron Network, but he only like they do end up kind of trapping him later on.
True.
And so like they get him in like a dual core cauldron, but he also is a creator by design, right? So he's been able to update his own code in order to kind of shield him from Gaia taking him over. And we'll find that out after we get all the sub functions. Beta and Gaia kind of say, hey, we've been kind of looking at Hephaestus's code in the cauldron, and he's different now, and we need to change that so that we can take him over. And that process actually like puts off so much energy later that the Zeniths get on to, you know, what we're up to, and intervene later on. So
Got it.
The Zeniths at this point in the game are kind of just waiting for us to act, and for them, it's not going to take any time at all to find us.
Yep.
Spoiler alert: we will never capture Hephaestus. Hephaestus is just that little gnat that you just cannot get. He will just get away every time.
It makes me think he's the actual final boss. Yeah, by the end. So
Yeah,
all of the machine killing, by the way, and the realigning of the main quests and stuff have come down to this moment of crafting the diving mask, talking to Moreland, and we just kind of head in and, you know, go and find Poseidon in here. The most swimming in the game. This is our water temple. If you're an Ocarina of Time fan, this is one of the areas of the game where Aloy is both very nimble underwater and very hard to control at the same time. If you know exactly kind of how far she moves and where she moves and how to move her, it can be pretty easy. But if you do things late, or if you press, you know, a fast swim or something a little bit late, you're going to end up in a place you don't want to be. So it behooves you to practice a fair bit of swimming. And this is where we do the most of it. One of the things that you'll see in the top left under the health bar is an evader skill upgrade. The food that is on the bottom left, the something sunrise, I can't remember right now. Thank you very much.
Ruby Sunrise.
Gives you a few more. If you were on land, it would be rolls. But here it is swims that, like, you press circle and go fast. You can only do so many before Aloy stumbles, and she stumbles, quote unquote, stumbles underwater as well. So you want to use this Ruby Sunrise to give you, you know, more fast swims. It helps her move a little bit faster. And what you just kind of saw was Blaster went through, had to look at a door basically to advance the quest, and the big, you know, Nessie over there, the Loch Ness Monster machine, what we call a Tide Ripper in the game, is what will be kind of our final boss of this area. But you have to kind of get a look at that, look at the door over there and be like, yeah, Poseidon's over there, but we have to go and get the water out of this place. So that's where we're headed now. And so there's some little things you can do here to make this faster. Normally you'd have to like swim to a ladder, climb up, move around. But we just kind of, you know, use the hitboxes that the game gives us. We walk up on this, kind of jump over and ignite the fire gleam, and that will allow us to move this sluice gate so that we can drain the water through here. Another status impact that allows us to do a quick input of the turn, and then that moves on its own. You kind of have to wait for that gate to move before you jump in the water, or you can soft lock yourself here. So it's one of those things where you just kind of wait while you stand on the rail. Once that starts moving, you can jump in the water. If you go too early, that gate will not move, even though you've turned the wheel, and you'll get stuck there. So you swim back out the way you came and swim straight out, and we're gonna go over to another gate here, down this hole.
For those who haven't noticed yet, we are in Las Vegas right now. It doesn't really look like Las Vegas, but you know, 1,000 years is a lot to a lot of things, and they definitely solved their water crisis, is all I'll say. There's not a lot to say about this area because it's gonna go by so quickly anyway.
Yeah.
But what there is something notable to say is I believe we're gonna go out of bounds here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, that was so clean. Oh,
nice.
Lord.
Wow.
I want that skip to have my children. That's so good. Oh my Lord.
I'm gonna remember that sentence.
Oh my God. I have so much trouble getting out of bounds here. Like, that was so quick. I'd like have so much trouble making that work, but that's what we call the wet wiggle. The wet wiggle is like you have to use the quick movement underwater, so pressing circle, in an area where multiple hitboxes are pushing on you at the same time. And what that does is kind of pushes you out of bounds. So like you push into the wall and then away from it. And Aloy moves in a way that kind of like shifts her through the hitbox, and you end up on the outside. And then what you saw Blaster do there is kind of head underneath. He looked up a little bit to get some dialogue that would normally have to play for you to activate the draining of all the water here. And then he used a door interaction to open the door underwater to bring him back into bounds. So it's like you have to do all these things that are kind of like precise. And then it puts you up in the tower. You restart from save twice, and it puts you out here. And then you just go out and throw a spike at the Tide Ripper, and that's what you saw. It goes so fast, like Naomi said. It's really hard to like keep up with it. But there's some really cool stuff that goes on here. And I honestly don't even know if I've seen a wiggle that went out of bounds that fast before. That was crazy.
Okay. Poseidon should be hiding in
I do believe that was one of my fastest
almost
attempts,
never get it like that.
I did spend like a couple hours learning.
Well, I remember
because of
I remember
how
doing
that
This
is.
is our last sub function that we're gonna get. Sorry, we are gonna try to get Hephaestus after this. We're just not gonna be able to see a lot of the cutscenes. So, as Ka already explained earlier, we're gonna try to trap Hephaestus. It's not gonna go very well. So definitely look forward for that.
We've had our friend Varl with us throughout the entire run, and he just decides this isn't for him, and he's gonna head off to a farm upstate.
I'm just gonna be real though. You see like nothing raw except for like the 2 interacts you have to do.
No, but Naomi, you've got to understand. His whiskers offended us.
Wait, are we not for bearded Varl?
Hold on. I am for bearded Varl. It's just Aloy that's not for bearded Varl.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, we established that, but Aloy's entitled to her wrong opinions. It's fine.
True. You can't be wrong in this world, and Aloy definitely is, and that's okay. She's saving it anyway.
I'm sorry,
you can have one wrong opinion.
I'm sorry, my whiskers offended you. There's some really good lines in the tutorial. Oh my god, yeah. We in the speedrun community are for bearded Varl. If anyone's wondering about our position on that,
I'm definitely for bearded Varl. I have a question for Blaster actually. Since this is the Dutch
well done.
showcase, right? Wow. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Sorry. Since this is like the Dutch showcase, right? We're gonna come up on a part later, which is very soon. Which
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're referring to.
we
I'm not gonna
have
show that
to,
off.
right? You can't.
Oh sure, I was
I'm
planning to.
intrigued.
The
All right,
estimate
cool.
accounts for
'Cause,
that.
like, you can't skip it.
Hang on,
All right. Anyway, we have some Hephaestus to do.
So one of the cool things, this was something that was around back in the early versions of the game, where you used to be able to just like restart from save, getting into the base, and it would put you in front of Gaia. It came back only for the Poseidon function, and only if you do it last. I think it might be different now. Later on, it kind of like re-showed up. So it saves you about 10 seconds once you get Poseidon to just go back to the base. And as soon as you open the door to get inside, you'll get us an autosave. And if you restart from save, it puts you right in front of Gaia. You can just return the sub function. So there's a lot of like...
Yeah, I got a tiny bit distracted
you got it.
there.
There's a neat trick here. So Katalo's talking, and for those who don't know, in either Zero Dawn or Forbidden West, if there's dialogue going on, Aloy can't call a mount. You can't whistle for a mount while dialogue's going on. So you have to be like mashing the button on a few fast travels. This was one of them where Blaster went to that shelter, and you have to be calling your flying mount immediately. Otherwise, you have to wait for that dialogue to end in order to get the flying mount to pick you up. That dialogue's pretty long. I think it's like 40 seconds. So.
Oh, we do have a cool prediction coming up.
Spine.
In just a tiny bit, the slaughter spine. Since we're at night, it will have a 50% chance to spawn as the Apex variant, which is the more
And that
deadly
one will
variant
live.
of it. And there's a group of rebels right over there. And if it's Apex, it will kill the rebels. But if it's not
And it will
Apex,
die,
it
and you
won't.
will see a giant explosion. I'm curious. You're getting pretty
It's
close.
always good fun. I'm starting to doubt whether this is an
Wait
Apex
for
one,
it.
or if it's even here at
Bang.
all.
It died.
Oh, there
It's
it is.
not
There we go.
Apex. The rebels win, everyone. Which, if you're a Star Wars fan, is good. If you're
This battle.
a Verizon fan, not so much.
All right. So we're gonna go to we're gonna go to San Francisco. Sorry, my voice cracked there. That's funny. We're gonna go to San Francisco. Because we're gonna be talking to Quinn. Because we need the Omega Override, which because Hephaestus has evolved himself, he essentially just locks us out entirely with our
Yeah.
Alpha Override, which is that's not good. But at least Ted Faro, for the bastard that he is, does have an override that we can use.
Yep.
So we're gonna go ahead and fetch that. And can I request that we do see splat percent?
Ooh. That would be nice. That percent is fun.
I think we can.
No, it doesn't take that long.
It takes about 40
be that long.
seconds, I think.
Yeah.
just
The
climb up and it goes
satisfaction in those 40 seconds, though, like we gotta get it. We gotta show everyone.
And so,
What
for those who
happens to
don't know,
COs?
in ZD, Ted Faro is the one who is responsible for the machines that basically destroyed the planet and civilization and everything. And the reason that all of this is going on. And so, he's not dead. And we're about to meet a very annoying individual who thinks he's the reincarnation of Ted Faro. And we have some really fun lines for him, but he dies in a really fun way. So we'll get there.
What kind of
We'll get
Let's
there.
see how the that's some bad
Oh, come on,
RNG.
Steve.
He's coming around. He'll be all right. There you go. At least he didn't get caught on anything. So you kind of hope for the mount to be circling right over the settlement when you finish the dialogue. There are some ways to help make that work, but it's not consistent, and it's the difference between
might have some useful data?
1 and 10 seconds of time loss, depending on where it is and how far you have to go.
Yeah. I opted for falling safely into the cutscene rather than
Oh,
the time
yeah.
save.
Oh, come on. This,
Oh, really? He's not
we
ready
go.
tonight.
this Thunderjaw every time. There we go. All right, it's time to go to Thebes.
Little bit earlier with the propelled spike. You gotta what you try to catch is the ammo canister, the tail, and the gun all at once by kind of like letting it go on the ammo canister. But
And so it has been today.
caught
This
like
is
the
CO.
back too.
True to your word.
Yeah, this is CO, by the way. The reason why it's
Thebes awaits us.
We
yeah,
have choice
the reason
words
why it's
for
called CO is because Blaster always talks about it this way. The Quen, this tribe, has woken up, and they already had access with focuses, and they learned about Ted Faro, and they think he is essentially a god, a savior, everything like that. And it's essentially these guys have like a different side of history than Aloy does, and these guys legitimately think that a corporate-like structure with like a CEO at the top and everything below that is like what a tribe should be. So
He is the
the
CEO.
top
yeah.
guard of he's the CEO. He's the top guy. So his name is CEO because they don't know that you're supposed to pronounce it as CEO. But fair enough. Creative naming. And essentially, he wants to find Ted Faro, who is actually still alive, believe it or not. Nice clip, nice out of bounds. So I believe this is the last one that we're going to do out of bounds, right?
Yep. So there's a few ways to do this. There's actually a way to get out like right away when you start after skipping the cutscene there. But this is like the more consistent way to get through and stuff.
Okay.
But essentially, you would normally swim through a bunch of turbines. You have to wait for things, activate a couple consoles. You can skip all that just by going out of bounds. That's the kind of wiggle mechanic that we talked about in Poseidon, where if you're up against like 2 hitboxes underwater and you just kind of move the stick, you know, from one side to the other against them, you can kind of move through the hitboxes and just clip out. That particular one that Blaster did is almost a gimme. Like, it's so easy to just clip through that spot and make your way over, where normally you'd have to swim down, go up and through a few things. Like I said, activate a few consoles to stop some turbines and swim through them. You save a fair bit of time going through the way he did. So
we're gonna be skipping a little bit of a walk and talk here.
Yep.
And actual use is right. That was not the last out of bounds. Technically, the far zenith base fly around is technically now.
There you go.
Hang on.
Oh, come on, Aloy.
So he's doing the wall jump cancel and then going over.
There we go.
Yeah, going over an invisible wall there to jump over and do the back side of the door instead of going through one door, going down on the other side, and then coming through that door on the other side of it. It saves a fair bit of time to jump over. To be fair, you probably like broke even with failing it a few times, but there's the wall is really weird there because like Aloy won't let you wall jump if you're too close to the frame of the door. So you have to put a little distance there and then do the wall jump and jump on top of the door frame. And there's enough of a hitbox there to let you stand there. And if you jump up again and then wall jump backwards, you can get over the invisible wall that is above the railing. And then you jump down and go to the door. Normally you'd have to like run across that railing or that platform that you're on when you come through the door, go through another door, wait for it to open, go down the other side, jump over a railing, go back and open that door from the other side. And it's probably like 10 to 15 seconds of like movement. So if you get it the first time, it saves a bunch of time to do it the way that Blaster did there.
CEO now kind of has to do a walk and talk and do all this cool stuff, so there's a good moment to replenish our ammo and get ready for the last parts of the run. And we're not there yet, but like just the ammo is nice to have.
Yeah, and what you see him doing there is putting down traps and breaking them down. In Forbidden West, for your really powerful weapons, you need volatile sludge for the ammo. And you're only allowed to carry 15, even when your pouch is like maxed out. It's a problem. On Ultra Hard, it's a real problem. You really have to like conserve the amount of ammo you use. So we've gone to like really like kind of telegraphing what it is we have to do for everything on Ultra Hard so that you don't overuse all of that stuff. But we keep elite traps in our quick menu so that we can put them down and break them down to get those resources back, whether it's blast paste for your like propelled spikes and stuff, or it's volatile sludge for the heavy arrows and stuff that go with it. Really nice use of the trap there.
I just want to call out that when Aloy opened up a vent to get into the final room of thieves, CEO Ghost go,
Not
is that some sort of vent?
Is that a
Not
vent
a
of some
bad
sort?
idea.
Yeah.
My God, this guy. So they killed Ted Faro, and Ted has had his heart, like his life, connected to the base, his self-destruct module. So now that he's dead, the base is self-destructed.
Yeah, it's letting in all of the like volcanic, the magma and stuff that is like powering it. Yep. So it just like lets it all in.
And so he decides, let's turn on Aloy and Alva while I can and get out of here. But here we go, it's time for splat percent. Because really, this CEO guy, he really sucks.
I can't believe we're watching this. This is
look at this. He just throws the guy down. Like, what the hell, dude?
So he's standing on a statue of Ted Faro. He thinks he's the reincarnation of Ted Faro. He found out Ted Faro's still alive, freaked out, had him killed, and now the facility's falling apart. And now he falls and gets crushed by Ted Faro. Poetic.
Poetic.
All right. So now, instead of taking the normal way out, If you jump up here and aim, Aloy has this cool thing where when you aim, her hitbox becomes like a little bit bigger, and it lets you stand on things you wouldn't normally be able to stand on. That like slanted surface is just slanted enough where you can get a hitbox when you aim, but not when you're just normally jumping. So you can take that and climb up instead of having to go up several stairways and run around a bunch of stuff. It's really annoying. Just climb up. It doesn't work on PC, unfortunately. So you have to take an old version of it. But we do actually have, like, when you climb up there, normally, you get all this, like, destruction that happens to the platforms you're running on. We actually have a way to make sure none of that happens, and you can just run out without any of the Quen bothering you. And you can check that out in the tutorial if you want. Anyway, we now have the Omega stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Gemini time. So, Aloy and the gang, they got pretty much everything they need to try and capture Hephaestus. Yep. So, the plan is to bring Gaia that they have right now. They've restored Gaia quite a bit. Bring Gaia to the cauldron to lure Hephaestus, because that's the only thing Hephaestus wants. Hephaestus wants to destroy Gaia, because then he's the only one left, and then he wins, essentially, right? So hi, Ross. We're gonna use Gaia as a lure in that case. Hi, Ross. We love you, Ross. And it's a tricky plan, and the one thing they're trying to do as well while this is happening is they're trying to distract the Zenith, because they know the Zenith will find them if they do this thing. But spoiler alert, Hephaestus does not get captured. Hephaestus is just too strong-willed to just not get captured. Yeah. Secondly, the Zeniths will find us regardless of what we do, because they always knew this is what was gonna happen. And well, Farrell is gonna go to a farm upstate, as mentioned before. And if you don't know what that means, I don't either. I'm not from the U.S., but I can figure out what that means.
That's what you tell your kids where your dog went when it died. So anyway.
Oh, wait, what?
No,
wait, what?
This is how we shield our kids with. Yeah, that's how it works. So we just killed the Behemoth and the Ravager. And now we are headed out. So Varl and Beta are kind of waiting there. They're working on, a plan to capture Hephaestus. We're gonna head through here and kind of take out a few areas, because Hephaestus is like moving around the cauldron in a way where like we're trying to move him into one of the cores so that we can capture him and kind of isolate him there. But we need to shut down a few things by overriding them. So we're moving through the cauldron. There's a few areas where we have to fight machines. So we're gonna drop a trap here, which will take out a Bellowback that's coming out. There's a very specific way to do this. So you'll see we let the long leg go by, but killed both of the leaf lashers. If you kill the long leg and both leaf lashers, it will actually spawn extra leaf lashers in this, and we don't want to do that. So we leave this one kind of here, and then we make our way through and override one of the nodes, and then we kill the long leg after the Bellowback that comes up dies. And it's a very kind of specific battle plan in order to prevent, extra battling that we would have to do otherwise. So
I'm still stuck on the farm thing you just told me. I've got to be real. It sounds so unreal to me. The only thing we shield our children from is telling them that Santa Claus is fake. That's the only thing that we shield our children from.
Look, man, I don't know what to tell you. Bunch of cowards in this country.
You telling me that all my childhood pets are just
hanging out at a farm upstate? Yeah.
Without me? How dare they?
I don't know
I
don't know where upstate is or how big this farm is, but there's a lot of animals there. Yeah.
Great.
They never sent me a card.
What was that?
Rude monsters. Whoa! What the hell?
Oh, what? You hit both of those guys. What happened? All right, you got them. You're good.
They went to the farm upstate. I don't know what to tell you.
Threw a lot of machines on my side too.
That's the wrong farm, though.
All right, so now we're placing some spike traps to kind of preemptively take out some enemies that will spawn in here when we move into the next room. So a watcher down there just below. There's a bellowback that will come in, and there's also a claw strider who is colloquially known to the community as Mark, and Mark is a jerk. There it is. Let's go.
Oh,
Very,
no
very
Mark.
well done, sir.
No Mark
Very
today.
well done.
Node access restored.
I love it.
That's to make a, yeah.
I've had issues where the what is it, the load machine here on my right, that went in too far, and then one of the machines just went around and also around my spike trap.
Yeah, they do like to do that sometimes. Like, they'll just avoid them, even if you put them right in the center of their path. Like, they just move around sometimes, depending on, it sometimes depends on where you killed the spike snout as well, the one that you took out beforehand. If it's in the way, it will cause them to move around, even if you can't see them. So it depends on where that thing dies sometimes. So, well done. Blaster there using a weapon technique called a spike trap. So there's two ways to use your spike thrower that we use in the New Game Plus run. One is a propelled spike, where you see him throw one and then it has like a rocket come out the back of it. That one, like, you know, goes off. It's not very accurate, but if you, you know, can get the reticle kind of on stuff, it usually hits it with the explosion. There's one that's more precise that throws in an arc, and it's called a spike trap, and it's way more powerful. The explosion is just way more concentrated and does a fair bit more damage. And on story, especially in New Game Plus, when we have these upgraded so much with explosive damage and things, it takes out pretty much every late game machine in a single throw. So spike traps are your friend if you're playing on New Game Plus.
So, because today on Fast Travel we were invited by Nick to show off games from the Netherlands. There's one thing we really have to show off, which is
Trinity from the Matrix.
Nachtwacht.
But,
No, that too, but also the Nachtwacht.
Oh yeah.
Tilde van der Meer is a Dutch character. She's also the only character in the whole Horizon, I believe, that has her first and last name always displayed, just to make sure that you don't forget that she's Dutch. And essentially, she's one of the four Zenith who likes to collect art, but she's kind of a phony, honestly. There's a lot I could talk about her character, but I'm not doing this here today. We will never get done with this fast travel at that point. And essentially what's happening here is that we're gonna go back to our base, tell everyone, hey, Varl died, that's kind of bad, right? Varl did go to the farm. Sorry, Varl didn't die. He went to the farm.
I take it the others
You know, he went to grow more beards or something. I don't know what they do up at that farm. They never invite me over there. And essentially, Tilda has a plan to defeat the Far Zenith. And of course, she's trustworthy. She has a whole name there.
Oh, of course.
How can you not trust someone with their full name?
Yeah, so you come back here. We come out to the outside of the base here, talk to Zoe, who tells us she's pregnant with Varl's kid.
Over here.
Now we go back inside. At the end of Gemini, Beta gave us an override for the Sunwing, which we've been flying on this entire New Game Plus playthrough, but this is where you would normally get it. So we go into the override lab, craft the override, we'll fast travel outside real quick, and head up and re-override the Sunring, because of course they take away your call after you do this. So we'll go up the mountain and do that. You also don't have access to your charger mount here. Once you head to San Francisco, you lose access to that. So we lose access to both of our mounts at this point in the run. So we just run up here. It's faster to do that than to fast travel away and get them out and come back and call them out. Like, it just doesn't make sense to do that. So we come up here and grab that, and that will trigger a cutscene. And after that cutscene, you actually can't get off the mount until you get onto a Tolmec. So we'll try.
I just want to say, chat, the mounts are not dead. They went to a farm upstate. Y'all, they're okay. They're fine. They're with Varl right now. All right, it's time to fly. This is so cool. So, We're gonna grab the Horus battery. We're gonna bomb the Aether facility and override the Tallneck. I believe that's the order of.
Well, we go over
or
here.
the other way around.
Sorry, we do the Tallneck, and
the other way around.
So you're kind of normally stuck here. So like I said, you can't hop off the mount. This is very scripted. You can't dismount here at all, even if you try to land. You're just heading to this Tallneck that's over here in the desert. Normally you'd be stuck on the Tallneck until a certain amount of dialogue plays. Tilda will talk about I just want to help and all that stuff, and then you can call the mount to grab you off the top of the Tallneck. We can actually get outside of the hitboxes that keep us in, the invisible walls, by like abusing a spear technique to jump through it. And then
There's a Tallneck.
you can sometimes die jumping off the Tallneck. So you kind of want to get off as low as possible and land on a high point, because fall damage is terrible in this game. I seem to be the only one who dies jumping off this thing in all of the speedrun. Oh yeah.
Oh, I've died a couple times as well.
So we override and then we'll jump off, and jumping off and surviving allows you to run towards your destination and call the mount closer to it. While Tilda's talking, you get to move closer to your destination, where you normally would just be waiting while the Tallneck moves away from your destination. So you can save some time here if you can get off.
I was so confused by this Tallneck in my casual playthrough.
Seems like it doesn't want to let you out.
Yeah. No. At this point,
So now we'll just wait. And then, you can call and it'll just pick you up. A nice tip, look straight down when you do this next time, and it'll just grab you faster. But so now we're headed over towards the Horus to pick up a power cell, that arm that's kind of sticking out of the mountain there. So normally
I just want to say the giraffe claimed a lot of seconds there. How dare it?
Normally the mount would pick you up like right underneath where we are now, if you can jump off like right away. So you can see like what the time loss is there, or like what save is there. So it is what it is. The hitboxes on getting off the Tallneck are a little bit weird, and generally like your best attempts come from when you're like running, like doing a sprint towards the end, like the edge, and then your jump slash tends to push Aloy's hitboxes like really kind of up against the hitboxes of the invisible wall, and you slip through a lot easier when you're like on a sprint. But normally what Blaster was trying to do there by like using the jump slash over and over, that's your best bet to kind of get out and like slip through. It's a tricky thing.
Should be able to pick up more from the Horus I tried to. It'd be useful. Even after I do it.
We have the Regala fight coming up. Regala is really cool. I think it's one of my favorite fights in all of Horizon, especially because it's like a human fight. There is, what's the other human fight? She's like the master. She's also really cool. And Regala has like a lot of elements of that. Regala has like 3 phases they have to get through, and then you have a choice to save or kill her. And in the speedrun, we save her because that's the fastest option. And then at the end, she dies anyway. It's a cutscene that we can skip, so like it takes no time at all.
Yeah, it actually doesn't matter which one you choose. They're the same, depending. So like when you do the cutscene or the checkpoints in the final skip, you just hit the same point where normally she would either be there and then die, or she'd be dead and you would get some other cutscene with silence. But it doesn't matter actually. You can choose either one, and it's the same stuff.
Just so we all know, don't worry, we can just keep continuing, I think. But our screens are completely blank on the stream right now. So everyone knows, the screens just went to a farm upstate. It's okay. They're just gonna check on what's going up there and coming back. You know, it's like an extra side quest. This is now the podcast of Horizon Forbidden West. Just imagine that the game is happening. Like,
so right now, like Blaster is going in and he's starting the final quest.
I think so. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Fast traveling back to Tilda's house here, so we can fly off to the final campfire before the final quest. Hey, we're back. We're back on the screen.
We are indeed back.
Ooh, we're
Thanks,
back.
We are indeed
thanks, folks, for sticking with us there.
Thanks, everybody. So right now, you
Welcome
Back from the farm, the only survivor.
So after Gemini, we lost Gaia, we lost Hephaestus, we lost Beta. They took her. Varl died. It was a rough loss for us. We took one on the chin.
Hold on. Varl went to a farm upstate.
Well,
you can't just say that.
Look, same thing. Euphemisms, folks. Look it up.
We got a skip coming up to the last out of bounds.
Yeah,
right?
so he's flying over to the arms of the other Horus. You can see there in the distance, and underneath the arm that's kind of closest to the water, down on the bottom, there's a campfire we have to get, and that's the campfire you go to start the final quest. He could fly there now, start it, run through the whole thing, and fight Eric and Tilda and finish it off. That's not what we're going to do. He's going to get that campfire, and then he's going to go out of bounds, actually, where normally the game would tell you, hey, don't go this way, you're getting off the map. You can actually jump off the mount over the water, get it to pick you up out of bounds, and that will allow you to clip through this little blue shield that's on his right here. She says quite often enough, if you look at it, that there's no way we're making it through that shield. And I like to tell her, not with that attitude, Aloy.
Yeah. We're channeling our inner Wind Waker.
Yeah, barrier
link.
skip is going on right now. Absolutely.
The thing is, the reason why we're doing it, I think this is a very important thing to also lay out. The reason why we're doing it is we're trying to set a checkpoint that's later in the mission. So the moment that we actually start the mission, essentially, we can just quickly reload checkpoint, and we're done essentially with the long trek that we have to do.
Yeah, normally you would
right
interact
where
with a whole
Regala dies, essentially. So
Yep.
then all we have to do is just fight Eric. So let's see if we can.
Yeah, so we just kind of glide
can do
over
some
this
Wind
little thing
Waker.
in the water here. The mount picks us up. And so what we'll do is kind of jump off next to the base of the shield here. And there are a few places where you can call the mount back, and it will actually pick you up and clip you through. So that's a good call right there. Yep.
Come on, Steve.
Oh, let's go! That's a first try. That's beautiful. Oh, that was
That's a first try.
fantastic. Woo-wee.
Ooh, that was some good Steve, baby. Thank you, Steve.
We do
I'm
love a
so
first
glad
try
Steve
clip.
came back.
So
Steve.
the mount essentially there, what it wants to do is go off to the right. And so if you fly into the base of the shield there and hold left as you dismount, the mount will actually go where you're pressing the left stick. So you can get it to kind of go forward and move to the left and try to circle behind you. And that's what you want. If it actually takes off towards the right and circles, then you have to wait for it to go through the barrier, come around, really slowly kind of glide in front of you and then come through and pick you up. But Blaster really got a quick call there. That's exactly how you want it to go. So really good stuff. And so what he did there was go inside, fly far enough to get a checkpoint that's all the way towards the end of this part. Once he got that checkpoint, he could go back and start the quest. And as soon as he starts the quest, all he has to do is restart from save. And the game thinks he was at the checkpoint at the very end of this section. And so now we're going to jump through here, kickstart a cutscene, skip it, and we'll go into the last two fights.
Wait for the best voice line in the game.
Italo. Die, machine Phil.
Thank you,
So
Thomas.
So we're gonna
that.
fight. Yeah, we're finally gonna fight Eric now, and we're just gonna send Eric. Well, not to the farm upstate. That's too nice for him. We're gonna send him down like the creek down the road. I think. Yeah, that's another analogy. We're gonna get rid of Eric here.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's where the creek goes. The creek does not go to fun places.
No, he's really
He's not being nice to me, though.
All right.
Look, he's
go.
trying his best.
What you hope to do there,
It's fine.
and Blaster just kind of missed the headshot there. You got the helmet. You hope to get behind him, and there's a little spot at the top of his neck where the helmet doesn't cover, but it gives you a headshot. And if you point it kind of like at the middle of the top of his neck, you can get a headshot and a one-shot kill there. But if you hit the helmet, or if you hit, below and hit his armor, it doesn't quite take him out unless you get a crit. And you can't rely on that. So, but well done. Way to manage the onslaught of melee attacks he did there, which is unreal. I've never seen that, to be honest.
Hey guys, I have to break the bad news. Tilda is the bad guy.
Oh my God.
know. I'm so sorry.
No.
Because we're getting near the end of the run.
Yep.
So
Final boss coming up.
and we're not gonna see the final boss for a long time. So I'm just telling you right now, it was Tilda. Trust me.
She just wants to kidnap Aloy and take her off to space with Gaia. Nice skip. Way to go. So there's a little
so
invisible wall you can stand on where you're basically standing on air, and then you can climb over that pipe. There's a one shot. And
Bye, Tilda. And time will be coming up right in a couple seconds.
one.
Why couldn't you just let me
Nice hit.
That's time.
And that's time.
Way to go, Blaster. Way to go.
There's another battle ahead.
That's really good.
Ooh, gee. Oh, yeah, that's really good. I'm just waiting for the
yeah, I'm
timer to
watching.
catch up.
Very
Because I hadn't been running my own splits. But that's a
fantastic.
PB
Oh my
by
God.
minutes.
Rats.
A 1:44.10. Are you kidding me? That's a hell of a time. Well done.
Yep.
Well done.
Oh, gee. Oh, that's so good.
That's incredible.
I'm so happy with that.
It's about
144.10. Oh, that's so good.
Way to get a PB on the
Yeah.
GDQ.
Oh, I'm really, really happy.
Just spread the word.
Yep.
And ask for help.
Yeah, because my previous PB was a 148.40, so
It's because
almost 5 minutes.
I've only just started to understand.
That's good. Oh,
love
I
it.
like that.
This world have the strength.
I love it.
Any battle.
Ooh, now that sure was an adventure. Oh, and thank you all for being there and commentating your way through it. Because
Yeah,
I
man.
couldn't have done it without you.
Way to just focus on the run. You did a lot of things really well. The Tau skips they're really difficult. You did those well. Got them on the first try. Getting the shield clip on the first try. The out of bounds for Thebes on the first try. Like all of these things, man. Really well done.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Yep.
The stars aligned. Ooh.
And the resilience.
All right, yeah, I have a couple more shout-outs. Of course, shout-outs to my commentators, Greedy and Naomi.
As for me,
Our community is really, really nice, really tight. Everybody's really helpful. They want to help you get better. When I'm practicing, I've got other runners come in and give me tips on stuff I can do better or different ways to get it more consistent and all that. If you want to learn either of the base games, we have a great tutorial out on our YouTube channel made by Greedy and for Zero Dawn, Greedy and Scar, if I'm not mistaken. So those are really great tutorials to follow. I actually learned it by following the tutorial, so a really great testament to that. Yeah, I'm normally streaming about 2 nights a week. I'm at this point, my main project is Zero Dawn, actually. I'm planning to submit that to a couple upcoming marathons as well. So you can find me on my Twitch, twitch.tv/Blastermac. That's it for me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I always want to shout out the Horizon Speedrun community. Like I said, I'm a mod for that community and current world record holder for this run. But yeah, like Blaster said, we have what we call the Learning the Horizon series. If you guys want to learn this, just search Learning the Horizon on YouTube. You can find, the routes for both of the ZD and Forbidden West runs. Come on in, check us out. We love running Forbidden West. We love running Zero Dawn, anything Horizon, even the Lego game, if you guys want to check it out. So glad to be here, glad to help out, and glad to see Aloy on GDQ.
The last shout outs I have is to definitely check out GD Queer. That's coming up soon. Check out Flame Fatales. That's we just did Flame Fatales, set up like almost a new event record, definitely a new record for Flame.
Nice.
That was awesome. So be sure to check out that community. And shout outs to the Horizon community as well. I love Horizon a lot more than most people think. If you know, you know.
Yeah, and thanks to GDQ for having us.
Thank you all so much for this. That was an absolutely incredible run, and for you to PB by like 5 minutes is that must be really, really special for you. So well done, chat. Please give it up for Blastomac and your two wonderful commentators. It's been just such a joy to just sit back, relax, and enjoy watching the movement tech, the skips, the out of bounds, the quick kills. This has been just really, really fun to watch, and this has definitely reinvigorated me to go back to my Steam list and actually play through Zero Dawn. So thank you so much for being here.